Okay, hello everybody. So I'm here at a family member's place over here in town. So their hydrant broke the other day. These things are very common if you're not using them often. They get rusty and eventually fail from here. So they open it up to turn the water on to use it, and the whole thing was all messed up. So they usually either leak from there, leak from right here. There's an O-ring that they have inside, or they leak from one of these fittings over here. This is copper, so either they break or something happens. But I already did all the hard job, all the hard parts. So I already did all the digging. So all I had to do is make sure it's all screwed back in place, and they're pretty easy to repair. There's sometimes I run into things that I have to replace these things, and they set the pipe on concrete, so I had to break the concrete, cut it up, bust it, and then take this thing out. These things are usually about 3 feet deep or so, somewhere around there. That's the code for water lines over here. And that's gonna come up to like somewhere around here. So this steel is bigger than that one, so it's a little taller, so you don't have to bend down to open it up. But what I was gonna show you guys, some people know this, some people might know this, some people might not, but it's a safety deal. You do have to turn the water off. This place has a well, and these wells, they have a air tank that have a pressure for the water, so you have to turn that off. They usually have a separate power unit, usually 220, and it's separate from the house, so you can turn the power off on the house, but you still have power on your well because it's a separate circuit. So for this thing, you do have to come to the well and turn the power off. It will turn the water off from here on to the house. So that's the powerhouse there. So you flip that thing down, and this tank has air. So these things are usually built in to have air, so you can pressurize the water. So that's the air chuck right there. So you can go 60 pounds. It just depends how much water you want to, or how much water pressure you want to put into these things. But the other thing you have to, since it has pressure, you turn the power off, and then you turn any of the faucets or any of the spigots off. For whatever reason, I forgot where the lid is. There's another hydrant. I should have turned the thing off instead of this one. I totally spaced that out on that one, so I guess I didn't pay attention to that because I didn't see it. But what you do, you want to turn the water on somewhere. The house is locked up, so I can't turn the water or flush the toilet or anything in there, so you have to turn the water on until there's no more pressure on this, and then after that you can see where the water. I came up this morning and turned the water on, made sure everything was all drained and stuff. Sometimes it takes the whole day to drain, sometimes it's fast. So this is mostly sand over here, so it's not a big deal. But what I do, let the water drain out, and then change your deal. So this is a 3/4 line. They all come with 3/4 lines, 3/4 inch diameter line, and I did got an extra nipple here, male on both sides, because that's what screws into this thing. And then I got another one of these little elbow deals. It's a 1/8. I think this is a quarter, maybe. I don't know. 1/8. I did get a 1/8. And what this does when you shut the deal down, there's water on the pipe, and see that little valve there, the little cap. That's this right here. So there's a rubber, when they leak, there's a rubber seal that goes here that you take this thing off and then you replace this, but that's, sometimes it's just easier to replace the whole thing. So from here on up, that's almost about a gallon of water, maybe, or so, somewhere around there. When you shut the deal down, the water off, all the water drains into this little elbow here. So it keeps it from having water on the pipe and freezing. Sometimes if you open it on the winter time, the water stays there because it's so cold, then it freezes, then you have all this line busted everywhere, so you have to redo the whole entire thing. This is a 1/8, you can see right here. So you want to put some sealant on this. You don't have to because it's a drain pipe, so it's not a life and death situation thing. But on this one you do have to have thread sealant. It keeps it from leaking, and you have a nice tight fit on it. But what I'm gonna do here, I already have this thing off. This thing came out without the nipple here, so I'm just gonna put this thing without the nipple. I'm just gonna put on some sealant over here, and I'm gonna screw this thing back on. So, and after that, after it's all tight, I'm gonna go and turn the water on, see if there's no leaking or nothing. And over here on the bottom, I really don't know. I couldn't tell what it was, if it was galvanized pipe or PVC pipe. But on these things, if you're gonna run a line of water from the well to your spigot, I will recommend to use a PEX pipe, the EXP, which is expanded. It's a clear pipe that have the expansion rings on it, so it's all made out of plastic. So that's a flexible hose. Or PEX B, which is a plumbing pipe that you can use for interior of the houses. You can use the blue, the white, or the red. It don't matter because it's gonna be buried, so it's just pipe. But what that does, if by any chance you was to back up in a car and hit it, the pipe flexes, so it won't mess the thing up. If you have PVC pipe, because this thing moves this way like this, it doesn't move that way. So if I was to back a car up into this thing by accident, I will break it, and then you have a water leak over here. So I didn't dig it deep enough over here on the bottom to see what it was, but I'm thinking they have some either galvanized or PVC. I really don't know what it was, so I didn't dig up that far. So, but that's my view on these things, because I've done a few things, and I've done places where they have a bunch of PVC pipe, and sometimes the ground settles and it breaks the PVC pipe. And sometimes when the trenches are not straight, they have bumps on the bottom. Then you put dirt on the pipe, and then it has a bump. Eventually that pipe will break, so you don't want that to happen, because then the water will come out from the break all the way down along the pipe and up into the spigot, and you think that you have a water leak on the spigot, but you don't. You have the leak up to 20 feet, 40 feet up down the line. So that happened a couple of times on another place where we thought that the leaking was right there, but it wasn't. It was 25 feet down the middle of the yard. And since the leak was along the pipe, so it followed the pipeline, and since it was salt sand and stuff, so it was easier for the water to flow. So that's where it went up, and then it went up into the deal here. So that's what happened. But if you guys want to do some of this stuff, like you have sprinklers or you have spigots that you want to run into your yard or whatever, I do highly recommend to use PEX. It lasts a long time, it doesn't rust. You can puncture it if you have like a trencher or somebody's digging or something, it will go. But it's flexible. When it freezes, which I mean it's not gonna freeze way down there, but if it freezes it will expand and contract, so there's no way for that thing to break unless it's like 75 below, so, or 100 below. That's going crazy, but that's kind of going to the max on it. And PVC, they will break easy, so okay, I got a call. My wife is calling me, so I want to start the video and then want to take some pictures, and then I'm gonna send you guys a couple of pictures of the job after it's done. So there's really nothing more to it, so it's just a few explaining that I need to do here. So I'll see you on the next picture here.